Hi Peas, it's finally Friday. This is the card we're going to be making today. It's got the Christmas tree on the front of it. It's just kind of holiday-ish. We're going to start off with our blank note card, and we're going to cover it with a patterned paper. I chose to go with the Oxford pattern paper pad by Basic Gray. I really liked the plaids and the Christmassy colors that weren't too just red and green. It's just kind of a neat pad of paper. I decided to use the polka dot paper for the background, and I've already cut it down to size just to save us a little time. And we're going to just adhere it right to the card front. And then I've cut just a tiny little piece of the ledger paper out of the same paper pad, and we're going to glue it right to the top of the card. Leave a little pattern paper of the dotted paper on each side. And then I've cut a small rectangle of the red plaid, which is also from the Oxford collection, and I cut it slightly smaller than the width of the card. Just so I can have a little bit of the polka dots poking through as well, and I'm just going to adhere it right at the bottom of my card like that. Okay, we've got all of our papers on there. Pretty simple and easy. And now I'm going to add one of these craft doilies to the top of my card. These are from Maya Road, and these are so fun. I wish I had like 50 packs of them because I use them on everything, and I love craft paper, so it's perfect. These come with a bunch of different designs in it as well. It's not all just the same one, and these are available at 2 Ps. So I picked this design, and I'm actually just gonna cut it with my scissors. I'm gonna cut it just almost like 3/4. And I think I'm just going to adhere right here above my plaid paper. I know they've been out for forever, but I still can't get over how much I love these adhesive dispensers. So much better than using a glue stick, and faster too. Okay, so we just glue it on here, our card, and that's the basis of a card. And now we are going to move on to something really fun. I have a piece of canvas. This is a canvas pendant banner by Maya Road. It's part of a mini book. They have rings on them. You can make them into a mini book. And they're by Maya Road. They're in the 2-piece store. They're actually on sale, 75% off. You can get the whole set of them for like $1.75 or something like that. It's really cheap. And I'm actually not going to be using them as a pendant today. I'm just going to be stamping on it and cutting out my image. I chose to go with this cute little evergreen tree by Hero Arts, and after experimenting with a couple different colors, I decided what showed up best on the canvas was just my basic brown ink, my dark brown, and I'm going to give it some color later with a Copic marker. But what you're going to want to do is just ink up your stamp with your brown ink. And the fun part about stamping on canvas is that it gives it kind of a vintagey look because it doesn't stamp perfectly because of the rise and fall of the fabric, and I really just love that, especially with these pattern papers that I chose to go with. Okay, so we have our tree. You can see how it's kind of faded. It's not a perfect crisp image, but that's what we want. Now I'm going to use my fabric scissors to cut my image out. And these canvas pendants, you can see they're sewn around the edges. It's because they're 2 layers. So you could actually make 2 cards with one and save the other one for later. Or you could take it apart and just stamp on one piece and save the other whole piece for another project. They're really fun. I've used these canvas items that Maya Road sells. And also Canvas Corp, I think, sells quite a few different items that are made of canvas. It's just so fun to stamp on and play with. They even have purses and stuff in the 2 Ps store. 2 Ps, Maya Road came out with little purses you can decorate. How fun is that? I think that would be so fun. Okay, so I've cut that out. See, here's the second layer. I'm just going to put that to the side. I could reuse it for something else later. So there's my image, and like I said, I want to add a little green because it is an evergreen tree, not a dead Christmas tree. So I got my Copic marker over here. This one is called, oh, Pale Olive. You can see it there. It's just my green. I like this color of green, and I'm gonna use the broad tip, and I'm just gonna kind of add a little bit of extra green throughout my whole entire tree. And this does kind of absorb into the fabric, so it's not gonna show perfect lines. So you just kind of want to give it a little bit of extra green. Kind of fun just to scribble on here. I feel like I'm in kindergarten again. Doesn't have to be perfect, just add a little color. Okay, I'll add a little more right there. Okay, and now we're going to, before we add this to our card, we're going to put some jute around this to add more of a natural feel. And I'll show you a little trick that I like to do when I'm adding ribbon or jute all the way around the card. I like, maybe a lot of you do this too, but I like to take my X-Acto knife and I just cut a little slit right into the crease of the card. And it gives me enough space to wrap the jute around, or the ribbon around, whatever I'm using at the time, and make a nice little bow without it adding too much, without having to use tape or anything like that. So I'm using a length of this really thin jute. I actually just picked this up at my local craft store. It's in the jewelry making section. And so I'm going to wrap it around my card, and I like to wrap it around twice. Pull it through. Put it again. Oops. And then you're going to tie a bow off to the right hand side. The hardest part with the jute is it's just so wild. It likes to go everywhere, so you kind of have to hold it down with the finger while you tie a bow with the other fingers. Okay, do the best you can. And I just kind of take the jute and I kind of coil it to make a nice edge. You don't want it just going haywire on you. Okay, and then we're going to add our tree, and I have some 3-dimensional adhesive I'm going to put on the back of my tree. Or you could use hot glue. I kind of like it to stand up a little bit. And we're just going to place it, sorry, my workspace is a mess, usually is, right here in the center of the doily, coming down onto the plaid paper. Just kind of right smack in the center of your card. And then to dress it up, I thought it just looked a little plain, so I decided to stick some gems on it. And these are by Doodlebug. I'm going to use the darker red and just kind of randomly place them around the tree. Make it sparkly. That's how Christmas should be. Little, oops. There we go. Gems everywhere. Okay. And so that's the front of the card. I actually did sneak a little sentiment on the inside. And I'm using this Christmas sentiment stamp set by Hero Arts. It's called Joy to All. And I'm going to use this one up here that says, "May all your holiday wishes come true." I liked the shape of it. I think that goes perfect right in the middle of our card. So I'm going to take that one out. Put it on my block. My messy block. And for the sentiment, I decided to use my crushed olive distress ink. It just kind of goes with the olive Copic marker that I used. So I'm going to turn this around. This is probably one of my favorite. I always say that. All my stamp pads are my favorite. But this one gets a lot of use. I use it a lot, and I use it along with my Copic marker. That's the olive one, because I think they just work so well together. So we're just going to stamp this right in the middle of our card. So nice. And there we have our card, and that's it. It's pretty simple, pretty quick, and it's fun to pass out. You can pass it out with a plate of holiday goodies this holiday season. Thanks so much for joining me, you guys. I hope you have a great day.